All right, Saints fans and who that's from all over the world, it is Kyle T. Mosley of the Saints News Radio Network, and welcome to our Crescent City Connection, the Saints Preseason 2017 Part 1 show for us. We have been on hiatus for quite a while, but it's time for us to be able to return and talk a little bit about the New Orleans Saints, as well as what's going down in the Who Dat Nation. On tonight's show, we're going to have Coach Rick Gailey as one of our panelists. You know, Coach is now with the Crescent City Sports website, and he also hosts the Three Tailgaters show on Saturday mornings with John Forcade as well as Ken Trahan, and he also does the Coach's Office show here on Saints News Radio, as well as he is a regular co-host on Saints News Radio. He should be in pretty soon. We have Bob Rose, who is joining us for the first time this season from Canal Street Chronicles, as well as he may do some guest writing for Saints News Network. And we will have Barry Hurstis joining us. Barry is now full-time as the editor-in-chief of Saints News Network, as well as he's done a lot of guest spots, and as well as the analyst on a number of radio shows across the nation. He's under the weather tonight, so right now it's just me and Brendan Boylan. If you don't know Brendan was a part of the Professor Speaks radio broadcast. He's a young talent that is out of Gardner-Webb College on the East Coast in Charlotte. I mean, is it in Charlotte or I know it's in North Carolina, right?
Hey, I mean, with how much in the middle of nowhere that we are, Charlotte's probably the best you're going to get to people knowing where we are. We're just south of Charlotte, probably 40 minutes at most.
Got you. Look, you guys got to check Brendan out. I am prophesizing this, and I'm putting it out there. You're going to see this young man on either NFL Network or ESPN or one of the major networks in the future. Brendan is the voice of the Gardner-Webb sports. He has 9 sports that he needs to be the host of the show, and has knowledge of all of the 9 sports. And you also do the play-by-play. Is that correct, Brendan?
Yes, sir. I do play-by-play work for 9 sports. As you said, the Butler's Pantry is a sports talk show. Not just Gardner-Webb. We've expanded it. It's doing just about everything. Last year, we got started. The radio station picked it up for a second season, so I'm excited for that. And it was fun. You know, a lot of people ask, well, why the Butler? And it goes back to one of the first guys that took me under his wing here, Jared Pankhurst, who was a play-by-play guy here for 11 years, and I took his job as he moved on. He's up in Maryland now. We didn't coordinate our outfits really well for a TV broadcast, and I showed up in a 3-piece suit, and he said, I didn't know you had a butler's job on the side. And ever since then, I've been known, at least in these parks, as Brendan the Butler Boylan. So being able to tie that into a radio show and get it started and everything, it's been a lot of fun, and it's been fun to be kind of a quote unquote local celebrity here and just get everything rolling. It's been a lot of fun. But as I told you before the show started, Kyle, it's all about remembering your roots, remembering where you came from. You prophesized it right then. Derek did a lot of it when I first joined you guys nearly 2 years ago now.
Yeah.
But got to remember the roots and where I started, and it all goes back to you guys. So it's a privilege. It's an honor to be back for season 3 with you guys here on the Saints News Network.
Well, we're glad to give you the platform, and we were, I know Derek was very proud of you, as well as I am, for all that you have done. Hey, Barry, how you doing? We got Barry Hurstis, the man, the myth, the legend. How you doing? How you feeling?
Feeling a little bit under the weather. My wife and I, looks like we got some kind of summertime allergies. Our granddaughter, who we're raising here at home, who lives with us, apparently brought it home from school or something, and so now the whole house has it. And I've been feeling a little under the weather, but still managed to get out 2 articles today at Saints News Network. You've been on the site today. just grinding it out, gutting it out, as you would say. It's, I guess the ex-military man in me. You just keep plugging away at it, and unless you're on death's doorstep, there's no excuses not to get the job done. And of course, I'm very honored and very privileged that you've entrusted me with the keys to the kingdom, so to speak, of Saints News Network. And after everything that's going on with my personal life in the last year, and I'm flattered and humbled, and I'm not going to let you down. And we're going to turn out the best product I could possibly do. As you know, we're just now really getting off the ground as far as the website with articles. We've always had saintsnews.net, which of course shares articles from all over the Saints media world. Times-Picayune, USA Today, Who Dat Dish, our good friends at Canal Street Chronicles, all those guys. But now we have our own website where I am doing original content, at least trying to get one out a day, sometimes multiple a day, just depending on breaking news like we had today with the Delvin Breaux situation.
Ooh, yeah.
It's my goal to have fresh content every single day. So you can almost bet if you wake up in the morning and have your morning coffee before you go to work, there's going to be a new article up on Saints News Network. So
yeah,
that's my goal. That's my personal goal to do that for you and for Saints News Network every day.
Well, Barry, I tell you this much, man, you are doing a fabulous job, and every time I'm going to work early in the morning, Barry sends me that little ping note. Bam, I'm on the highway. He's pinging me saying, "Hey, got a new one up. Got a new one up." I'm like, okay. I can't read it now, but it's awesome. I'm glad you're aboard. Man, look, Barry, you've always been family anyway. So you're not new to the Saints News Network family. So it's just the three of us at this time. It's myself, Kyle T. Mosley, Barry Hurstis, as well as Brendan Borland. We're going to talk a little bit about the New Orleans Saints, and you may not hear a familiar voice, and that familiar voice has been quieted. Sorry, I didn't know I was going to get choked up, but back in May 15th, as a matter of fact, it's been 3 months, we lost the professor, Derek Craig Stevens. Derek was COO, as well as he was my best friend and my brother of 39 years, best man in my wedding, and he died fairly quickly from a freak occurrence at home. But the professor in Professor Speaks, that's how we get Brendan here, and he's going to be tremendously missed by everyone. His honesty, his laugh, his way of having his soliloquies for 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to miss those things of him. But most of all, I'm just going to miss his friendship. And it hit me, man. It hit me after the Browns game. That was the first time in 7+ years that we didn't have our, hey, what do you think about what happened? After the game talk, man. Just, one-on-one, just having a good time. The professor loved the New Orleans Saints. He bled black and gold. He loved the team from when we were young till his passing. So next week we're going to have a little honor for the professor, just a little farewell portion of the show. So stay tuned next Wednesday, where we take a little time to honor the professor, and you'll get to hear some little snippets of why he became such a popular figure on the Saints News Radio networking. All right, and continue to be in prayer with his family because they're still struggling, and everybody's still struggling with the shock of the loss of the professor. All righty. And Brendan, appreciate you being at the funeral, and that meant a lot to me as well as a lot to his family.
Hey, it's the least I could do. Like I said, I mean, you guys entrusted a lot of faith in me early, and for as crazy as it is, for Derek and I to never meet face to face, but have a guy who became a mentor to me for 2 years, would call in, text me, check up on me consistently. I mean, he was like another father figure almost in my life, just with the consistency and the love that he showed me for 2 years, just because we were able to talk on the radio a couple times a week. It was incredible. I'm just so blessed to be able to know him for the 2 years that I did. So it's the least I could do to be able to say farewell the way I needed to. And obviously I miss him. I mean, he gave me every opportunity in the world, and he'd brag on me on air and off air every single week. Yep. So it's the least I could do. And Derek knows that I love him, and that's all that matters.
Definitely. And he thought very highly of you, Barry, as well. Matter of fact, when you were available, he said, "Go call him, get him now." It's like, okay, we're going to get him.
Look, it was quite an honor knowing Derek. For the what probably 3 years that I've known you guys and have been appearing regularly on the show. And so to be asked to become a part of the network, as a writer, and to launch an original site was. There was no way I was going to turn that down, considering how I left that previous website. And, there's a lot of, on my behalf, looking for a shot at redemption. And Derek, he was willing to give me that shot. And, of course, and you were too, of course. And I just, it speaks to how much he cared about people.
Yes, he did.
Speaks to, as well as, he had faith and confidence in me. He was willing to look past some poor decision making that I made in my previous stop, and was willing to give me that second chance. And I would like to think I rewarded his faith in me, and continue to do so every day. And hopefully the content that I put out every day speaks for itself. We still have a long way to go, but we are building a core base of readership. The numbers bear that out, especially these last 2 weeks since training camp and season started. Predictably, a lot of fans are just very blasé in the months of March, April, May, June. They get a little excited for the draft, and then they're pretty much lackadaisical, I guess is the term I would use, as far as their concerns about the Saints. But once training camp rolls around, and of course the preseason games start, and you start seeing football again on your TV set, they usually come out the woodworks, and predictably that's exactly what's happening. So I'm glad that I am probably fulfilling the vision that Derek had for the Saints News Network website, and it's an honor. And of course, you and I will be doing a special. You alluded to, you're going to be doing a special show, and then I personally will be doing a tribute article where I'll actually interview you personally, and we'll share some anecdotes from you guys growing up, your time in school together and whatnot, and then some of the funny stories that he certainly was a part of, and maybe we'll have some photos, some old photos and stuff to share, and just to honor him and to honor his memory, and to have something that people, his friends and family especially, something that they can click onto, for the rest of their lives, where there'll be a link where they can just click on and look at their dad or look at their granddad or their uncle or their friend or whatever, and that will live on forever, as long as the internet is what it is, and so his legacy will last forever. So,
yeah, definitely.
And that's the best way, I think, that we can honor him.
Good point. Yeah, and can't wait, man. Can't wait to speak with you about it. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about New Orleans Saints football, and let's talk about what's happening in the Who Dat Nation. Wow, we got a lot of drama for your mama already.